Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd do a quick video today about some avionics choices I'm being faced with right now. And I haven't seen any direct size comparisons side by side. There's probably some out there. But I'm looking at the G5, which is on the right, and the Garmin Gi-275, which is on the left. Now initially, I thought the G5 was bigger, so I was going with that. And the whole unit is a little bit bigger. If you notice, a lot of the bigness is just that panel space underneath and on top. If you look at the screen sizes, they're really about the same size. The 275 on the left loses some of the corners, but the size is pretty close. So I'm looking at both of these units, trying to decide which one to use. And some of the talking points here, the G5 is older. It was originally made for experimental aircraft. And then the certified guys kind of clamored that they wanted it too, so they kind of tweaked it and adjusted it and got it certified. Where the 275 is purpose-built for certified aircraft. The G5, from my understanding, when you get two of them, you can't put an old ILS signal from like a KX-155 or one of those old radios to the HSI portion, the second one underneath. You can't do that, you have to use your old equipment. So the G5 is a little older. The screen isn't quite as bright, the processor isn't quite as good, and it's the 275 is newer technology. The 275, like I said, brighter screen, faster processor. It offers synthetic vision, which on a screen that small, I'm not convinced if that's going to be a big gain. If anyone has a 275 and they're really liking that and using it, let me know. The nice thing about the 275 is you could take an old style VOR ILS radio, wire it in, and the 275 will accept it and show you that. So you don't have to keep your old radio head, in there, your old CDI needle. So that's an advantage. Now, obviously, it seems pretty clear the 275 is a better choice. Of course, there's a price difference. I need two of them. I need my attitude indicator, and then below, the heading indicator, HSI, that whole unit. And for those two units, it's about $2,800 more to go. I think it's roughly low 5,000s for two G5s, and it's around 8,000 for two 275s. So it is a significant price increase, but you're getting a lot. You're also getting the 9 different screens that the 275 will show you. Now those 9 screens are great, but again, the display being so small, this display fits in a standard instrument hole that you have on your panel. So there's moving maps, but it's not really that big. I really think I'm going to tend to use my iPad still. The traffic display, that's neat too, but again, iPad, it's displayed other places. I'm going to pair these units with the Garmin GNC 355 WAS Navcom. If you guys are familiar with that, it's a touchscreen Navcom which also communicates Bluetooth to your iPad. And if you're not into airplanes right now, I'm saying a lot of words that sound kind of crazy and you don't understand it, but that's okay. That's part of learning aviation. But I'm just trying to decide. I've got 9 different screens is basically the biggest advantage I'm gaining with the 275. But what is their real usefulness? So, if anyone has a 275, they've done it, they love it. Let me know. If you have a G5 and you think that's plenty and those screens would be a waste of time, it is significantly more money, so you can let me know that too. So I just didn't see a lot of videos showing these next to each other. I assumed the G5 was bigger, and then I saw them in the shop, and here's a little video too. They're really the same size displays, just about. If you look at this one, a little faster display. This one, there's some lagginess. Did you see that just a little bit? I have to rewind it. Just a tiniest bit of lag. I think it would be sufficient. I think it would work, but just older technology. So here's a comparison chart. You kind of see the G5, on the bottom. You have your standard 6-pack. They wire in the G5s. It's working off a very similar GPS unit that I'm getting. If you notice, the old style radio in the middle of the screen to the left with yellow and red numbers, it's wired down to a traditional VOR CDI needle setup. But if you follow it up top, that's one of the screens that the 275 can give you. It can give you the traditional representation, but the lines will be green. So if you go to the top of the page, you see that 6-pack of instruments, the very top row, 1, 2, 3 on the left. The next one is the traditional, CDI and glide slope. Then you have a map, and then another, I believe that's another map. The next one over is the airport diagram. We actually use that in taxi. You could zoom in and see taxiway numbers, which is cool. It's a lot cooler on the iPad. And then you go on to some of the other screens. There's some terrain ones and some traffic and the GPS screens. And the far right, upper right round circle, that gives you a little glimpse at the synthetic vision. Really hard to see at this view. You might be able to find better pictures elsewhere. Maybe I go grab one real quick. So here's the synthetic vision. You can see you get some mountains. You can see the texture of the ground. You get the river below. If you look in the upper portion, it says TFC in that yellow dot. I believe that's actually like when an airplane's flying by. That's where he'll be in the sky. So that could be useful. Also, right on the horizon in the center of the screen, you see that green circle with the little tags on it. That at the airlines, we call that a flight path vector. That's where the airplane's really going. So in a turn or even a steep turn, if you keep that on the horizon, the altitude really can't move, and it gives you a little more situational awareness. So that's a lot better than a normal attitude indicator, right? I mean, that's worth something. Again, it's just the size of it. I don't know if it'd be meaningful to me as I age and my eyes get older. Am I going to be able to interpret any of that stuff? I mean, I don't know. It is pretty neat, though. Obviously, a step up. Okay, so in conclusion, just throw me some ideas. I'm thinking most people are going to lean towards the newer technology, the greater versatility, the ability to keep my ILS and VOR information if I ever use those things, which I may never use. But I have the opportunity to keep them there in case I have to shoot an ILS. I think the 275, it's the better unit. It's just, I think about $2,800 more. It's just a question of, am I buying a bunch of features, most of which I won't use, and the screen being so small, they just don't have a ton of meaning, especially since I have better options as far as, the actual screen on my GPS unit. I have my iPad. There's information all over the place. So, I'm leaning towards the 275. The G5 seems like it'll get the job done. So just a quick video. At least you can see, if nothing else out of this video, you see the size of the two units. Like I said previously, I was really under the impression that the G5 was a much larger unit. And if you look at the video at the front, it obviously is not. So let me know what you think. I hope this might have given somebody some useful information. Again, I have some videos I'm working on, how to buy an airplane. I've shot that several times and deleted all of it. It's just kind of hard to talk into a camera, but I will work on that. I've learned a lot buying airplanes. And the 182 renovation, that's coming along. We got the prop back today, the prop governor, the exhaust system, the engine mount's coming in a couple days, and the engine should be here in just another week or two. So moving forward with 182, suffice it to say, it got expensive. So we'll update you on that too. Hey, thanks you guys for watching.